factors affecting the stability of carbocation. So the topic going on was here factors affecting stability factors affecting stability of carbocations. Okay, factors affecting the stability of carbocations. Hmm. So while discussing this, we had already discussed about how inductive effect stabilizes a carbocation, how hyperconjugation stabilizes a carbocation. Yes, and what is the overall order of stability of carbocations on the basis of hyperconjugation and inductive effect? So in the previous class, we came to the conclusion that the order of stability of carbocation is 3 degree greater than 2 degree greater than 1 degree. Yes, so that was the overall order, right? So today we shall discuss how resonance brings stability to carbocation. Okay, so resonance, it brings, okay, resonance, it brings stability to carbocations. Resonance, it brings stability to carbocations. Okay, so let us write down a few points. So greater the number of resonating structures, greater the number of resonating structures. Okay, so greater will be the stability of carbocation. Greater the stability of carbocation. Number two. Okay, so greater the number of resonating structures, greater will be the stability of carbocation. Now I'll just give you some examples. Okay, now for example, suppose we have this. So it's what is the degree of this carbocation? It belongs to which class? Is it a 1 degree or a 2 degree or a 3 degree carbocation? Yes, by the way, it belongs to which class? 1 degree, 2 degree, or 3 degree? Have a look and answer me. Which degree carbocation is this?
Sir, 2 degree.
Now, why 2 degree? The carbon containing the positive charge is directly attached to only one carbon. This carbon, you have to look at this carbon. So it's a 1 degree carbocation. And we know 1 degree carbocation is least stable on the basis of inductive effect and hyperconjugation, right? Am I correct? Because yes, from yesterday discussion, what was the overall order of stability? 3 degree carbocation, very stable. Then comes here 2 degree, then comes here 1 degree. However, here we see that the positive charge is a part of conjugated system, as discussed before. The positive charge is a part of your conjugated system. And if the positive charge is a part of conjugated system, then yes, what will occur? Resonance occurs. Okay. So यहाँ पर क्या होगा? Due to resonance, the pi electron moves towards the positive charge. We know that. Okay, we have been doing this quite a lot now. So यहाँ पर क्या हो रहा है? CH2, we have CH here, double bond CH2, and the positive charge comes out here. So this carbocation is, we say the carbocation is resonance stabilized. It is resonance stabilized, right? The carbocation is resonance stabilized. It is stabilized by resonance. So this carbocation, although it is a 1 degree carbocation, it is very, 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 very stable, right? Although it is a 1 degree carbocation, it is very stable. Okay, why is it very stable? simply because of the fact that it is stabilized by resonance. And in the earlier class, again, I had told you that, okay, what is the order of preference? If a carbocation is stabilized by resonance, then that carbocation will be extremely stable. Okay, so I'll give you other examples. So this is extremely very stable. So here we have a benzyl carbocation like this. We have this. Again, it's a 1 degree carbocation. But the positive charge is a part of conjugated system. So here resonance will occur. Resonance occurs. So the positive charge is stabilized by resonance. We have double bond CH2. Where will the positive charge come? It will come out here. Again, these pi electrons will move here. Okay. We have this positive charge is moving out here. Again, these pi electrons will come out here. Again, the positive charge will come out here. Now, same thing which we have been doing. Now, what have we written? Number 2 point. If we are asked, both are stabilized by resonance, but out of this, which one is more stable? Look at point number 2. So if we can draw greater number of resonating structures, okay, so the point is that greater the number of resonating structures, greater will be the stability. So here we have 4 resonating structures. Here we have only 2 resonating structure. So obviously this benzyl carbocation is very stable as compared to this, okay, carbocation. Fine. Now on the basis of this, the overall order of stability of carbocation. So you can just write down overall stability. Overall stability. Overall stability of carbocations. Okay. So what is the overall order of stability? Yeah, triphenyl methyl carbocation. So what do you mean by pH? What do you mean by pH? What is pH? pH stands for a phenyl group. What does pH stands for? pH stands for a phenyl group. So pH, it stands for a phenyl group. What is a phenyl group? C6H5 means this group. C6H5, where one of the hydrogen is replaced by any other group. It's a phenyl group. So pH3 whole 3C means we are talking about how many pH groups are there, how many phenyl groups are there? 3. So I'll just draw one. Yes. So this is pH3. pH3 means there are 3 phenyl groups attached to a carbon. It's a tertiary carbocation. Now see, if a carbon atom is attached to one phenyl group, we can draw 4 resonating structures like this. But here, the positively charged carbon is attached to 3 phenyl group. So for one phenyl group, since it is conjugated to, if it is conjugated to one phenyl group, how many resonating structures can we draw? 4. If it is attached to 2 phenyl groups, we can draw a total of 8 resonating structures. Since it is attached to 3 phenyl groups, we can draw a total of 12 resonating structures out here. Right? Simple. Yes, if it is attached to one phenyl group, 4 resonating structure. If it is attached to 3 phenyl groups, 12 resonating structures. So since we can draw a large number of resonating structures, okay, the overall order of stability will be this: a triphenyl carbocation followed by PH2CH positive. Diphenyl carbocation. Diphenyl means PH2 whole CH means I'll just remove one phenyl group. And instead of a phenyl group, what do I have? I have a hydrogen atom. So it has 8 resonating structures. Okay. Then this benzyl carbocation PHCH2. PHCH2, benzyl carbonate. Okay. Now, this the earlier one which we had done, the allyl carbocation, the CH2 double bond, CH single bond, CH2. Very, very, very stable because it's stabilized by resonance. Okay. So then, yes, we have trimethyl carbocation. The CS3 whole 3 means, yes, we are talking about a tertiary carbocation. A CS3 whole 3 means we are talking about a tertiary carbocation like this. We are talking about this. Okay. Followed by CH3 whole 2 CH positive. Followed by CS3 CH2 positive. So these three that we had discussed it in the previous class. Okay, these are stabilized by hyperconjugation and inductive effect, whereas these are stabilized by resonance. And resonance brings more stability to carbocation. It brings greater stability. So just try to develop this concept. So concept building is very important out here. We have a carbocation. Okay, and how is the carbocation stabilized? It can be stabilized by resonance, inductive effect, hyperconjugation. So out of these three factors, which brings more stability? Yeah, resonance will bring greater stability. And the order of stability of simple carbocation is 3 degree greater than 2 degree greater than 1 degree. And if we consider both resonance, inductive, and hyperconjugation effect, this will be the overall order of stability of carbocation. And this is the overall order of stability of carbocations. Okay, fine. So we have done in details. We have done in details. Okay, we have done in details about the stability of carbocations. Fine. Okay, fine. So I'll just conclude this out here. Okay, so we have done in details about the stability of carbocation. Now let us move towards another reaction intermediate. Let us move towards another reaction intermediate. Yeah, carb anions. So factors affecting stability of carb anions. Okay, so first of all, let us discuss what is a carb anion. So carbocation means species containing a positive charge on carbon atom. So carb anions means a species containing a negative charge on carbon atom. Species, okay, where there is a negative charge on carbon atom. Okay, the species which contains a negative charge on carbon atom are known as a carb anions. So they are known as a carb anions. Now see, so we have a carbon atom and there is a negative charge due to presence of excess electron. Now let us use VSEPR theory again. How many bond pair of electron do we see? We see 3 bond pair of electron, 1 lone pair of electron. That makes a total of 4 electron pair. Since there are total of 4 electron pair, it is sp3 hybridized, right? Okay, since there are 4 electron pair, it is sp3 hybridized. So yes, it is tetrahedral. Carbanions are tetrahedral. Carbocations were trigonal, planar. So sp3 hybridization means what is the structure? It is tetrahedral. It is a tetrahedral. Okay, so we have carbon atom. It's tetrahedral in nature, and the lone pair occupies one of the sp3 hybrid orbital. The lone pair occupies one of the sp3 hybrid orbital. Fine. Now, talking about the factors which affects the stability of carbanions. So again, I'm going to write down the same thing as we have written earlier. Okay. So any factor, the factor can be many. Okay, the factor can be many. So, but out of this, any factor which decreases the negative charge on carbon atom will bring stability to carbanions. Okay, so any factor. Okay, so this is the easiest explanation. So we have a negative charge on carbon atom. So any factor which will try to reduce this negative charge, any factor which reduces this negative charge will bring stability to carbanions. Okay, and we are talking about which factors again? Again, the same factors. We'll have inductive effect. Okay, yeah, hyperconjugation, resonance. So all of these factors will contribute towards the stability of carb anion. So let us see one by one. Let us go one by one. Okay. So first of all, let me draw this carb anion. Okay, number one. Number two. This. Number three. Fine. So we have three carbon ions. So where is the negative charge? What it comes under which category? This first one, the negative charge is on a primary carbon atom. So this is an example of a 1 degree carbon ion. Yes, a primary carbon ion. Here the negative charge is on secondary carbon. So it's an example of a 2 degree carbon ion. Is it okay? So same logic, we are going to the same logic. You have to look at the carbon containing the charge. So here the carbon containing the negative charge is directly attached to 3 carbon atom. So it's an example of a 3 degree carbon ion. It's an example of a 3 degree carbon ion. So here we have a 1 degree, 2 degree and a 3 degree carbon ion. Now again, what type of groups are these methyl groups? These are electron donating groups. So they have plus I effect. As we have been discussing, they are electron donating groups. They are electron donating groups. Now, if they are electron donating groups, what will happen to the negative charge out here? Just tell me. Methyl groups, the carbon already it has negative charge. On top of that, the methyl groups are pushing electron towards this carbon. So what will happen to the negative charge density? What do you think will happen to the negative charge density? Is it going to increase, decrease, or remain the same? Just tell me. Let us relate this with this. Any factor which decreases the negative charge will bring stability. So is the methyl group decreasing or increasing the negative charge? Just tell me that. Methyl groups are electron donating. So are they increasing or
Decreasing.
are they are
Decreasing.
they are not decreasing, they are pushing electrons, they are plus I effect. Alkyl groups are electron releasing groups. They are electron releasing groups. So already the
Increasing.
they are increasing, yes. Already carbon has a negative charge. On top of that, the methyl groups are further pushing electron towards this carbon atom. So they are increasing the negative charge density. They are not decreasing. They are increasing the negative charge. So सबसे ज्यादा कहां पर increase हो रहा है? Tertiary, followed by secondary, followed by primary. Why? Because there are three methyl groups pushing electron towards the carbon. Here there are two such methyl groups. So which one will be most unstable? यहाँ पर तो due to inductive effect, the negative charge is being increased. It's not decreasing. Got it? So the overall order of stability of carbon atoms, the overall order of stability. So remember, if the electron charge, if the negative charge had been decreased, the carbon atom would be stable. Yes, but here the negative charge is increasing. That means the methyl groups are making this carbon atoms unstable. सबसे unstable कौन सा होगा? 3 degree, because there are three methyl groups pushing electron towards this carbon. Whereas the most stable would be 1 degree. Why? Because there is only one methyl group. Okay. So the overall order of stability of carbon atoms it's just the opposite. It is 1 degree greater than 2 degree greater than 3 degree. कार्बोकेटायन का क्या था? 3 degree greater than 2 degree greater than 1 degree था, but कार्बन आयन का ये. Okay, fine. So due to excess negative charge, due to presence of three alkyl groups, the negative charge density increases to the greatest extent out here. Okay, so thereby making this carbon ion least stable of this three. Okay, so remember this. I'm not going to go into that details. Carbon ions. Okay, now resonance. Let us see whether it brings stability. Yes, it should bring stability to carbon ion. Suppose we have this carbon ion. So is the negative charge a part of conjugate system? Yes, the negative charge is a part of conjugate system. So resonance should take place. How does resonance occur? This will come out here. These two electrons will move out here. Fine. So what do we have out here? We have a double bond CH2. ये दो इलेक्ट्रॉन यहाँ पर आ रहा है. Again, we see that the negative charge is a part of conjugate system. So resonance will occur. So this will go out here. This will go out here. Okay. So yes, these carbon atoms, since the carbon atoms, they are involved in resonance. Okay. So these carbon atoms are resonance stabilized. They are resonance stabilized. So they are extremely stable. So if a carbocation or if a carbon ion, okay, if resonance occurs in case of carbocation or carbon ion, then they are said to be very stable. Okay, they are said to be very stable. Okay. Acha. So this is the second reaction intermediate. And what was the other reaction intermediate which we had studied in? Yes. So during a reaction, during bond cleavage, what are the reaction intermediates which are formed? Number one was here, homolytic bond cleavage mein what will be formed? Free radicals, yes. And during heterolytic bond cleavage, what are formed? Here, carbocations and carbon anions. Yes, we have discussed about here intermediates of heterolytic bond cleavage. Now we'll discuss a bit about the free radicals. Okay, we'll discuss a bit about your free radicals. So what were free radicals? Free radicals means species which contains a unshared electron on carbon atom. These are known as your free radicals. Okay. Now, so we have an unshared electron out here. It's a free radical. There is also a free radical. This is also a free radical. Okay. Now the unshared electron is on 3-degree carbon, so it's a 3-degree free radical. It's a 3-degree free radical. The unshared electron is on 2-degree carbon, so it's a 2-degree free radical. Now out here the unshared electron is on 1-degree carbon, so it's a 1-degree free radical. Fine. Now, so I'm not going to details, I'll just explain. Okay, so on the basis of hyperconjugation and inductive effect, the overall order of stability of free radicals will be this way. So free radicals actually they are stabilized by hyperconjugation and resonance. I'll just explain. For example, I have this ethyl free radical. So how does hyperconjugation occur? Now let us see. So we have one electron out here. The one electron from here comes out here. And here there are two electrons. After the two electron, one electron comes out here. And this electron will go to hydrogen like this. Okay, so there is a cleavage of CH bond. Eh? So what do we get? HC. So the hydrogen with one electron out here. We have CH. So there was already one bond, one electron of carbon, one electron of CH1. Well, 2 electron means a bond is formed. Eh? So this is hyperconjugative structure. Eh? Again, the same concept out here. How many hyperconjugative structures can you draw? And the stability is directly proportional to the number of hyperconjugative structures. Okay. So here, how many alpha carbon do you see? The carbon next to the one containing the odd electron is known as the alpha carbon. So this is alpha carbon, this is alpha carbon, this is alpha carbon. So there are 3 alpha carbon. Eh? So total, how many alpha hydrogen are there then? 9. So there are 9 alpha hydrogen. There are 9 alpha hydrogen atoms. So how many hyperconjugative structures can we draw for this? 9. Similarly, here we have 2 alpha carbon. And how many alpha hydrogen? We have 6 alpha hydrogen atoms. Here, this is the alpha carbon. So how many alpha hydrogen? We have 3 alpha hydrogen atoms. So on the basis of hyperconjugation and on the basis of discussion of the previous classes, what we know, more the number of hyperconjugative structures, greater will be the stability. So 3-degree has the highest number of alpha hydrogen. So there are 9 hyperconjugative structures, 6 hyperconjugative structures, 3 hyperconjugative structures. So the overall order of stability of free radical is 3-degree free radical most stable, followed by 2-degree, followed by 1-degree free radical. Okay. So not only hyperconjugation, but resonance also brings stability. Eh? Okay, so how does resonance occur? Now see, just like hyperconjugation, one electron from this carbon. So we have two electrons out here. So one electron will come out here. A bond is formed and the other electron move towards this carbon like this. Okay. So CH2 one electron is moving out here. This bond is getting cleaved. We have this now. So yes, again this is resonance stabilized. This is a resonance stabilized. Okay, so no need to go into that details as far as the board levels is concerned. Just order of stability, what are free radicals, what are carbocations, what are carbanions, and what are the factors which bring stability. Overall order. Carbocation ka 3 2 1, carbanion ka ulta 1 2 3, free radicals ka again 3 2 1. And remember, resonance will bring greater stability. Okay, resonance will bring. So if you are asked to compare the stability of this and this is far more stable. Why? Because it is stabilized by resonance. Okay, so yes, we have discussed in details about the reaction intermediates. Okay, we have discussed in details about the reaction intermediates. Okay, so now we just to continue. Okay, so today we shall discuss with electrophiles and nucleophiles. Okay, so the next topic, electrophiles and nucleophiles. Okay. Okay. So next topic, write down. Electrophiles Okay, so what are nucleophiles? Okay, what are nucleophiles? So nucleophiles are defined as a species which contains a lone pair of electrons or a negative charge. Okay, the species which contains a lone pair of electron or a negative charge are known as a nucleophile. So nucleophile is a species containing a negative charge or a lone pair of electron. For example, water. Water can behave as a nucleophile. Why? Because there is a lone pair on oxygen atom. Yes, the results have already discussed in VSEPR theory. Oxygen has 6 electrons. After 6, 2 are used in bonding, so 4 will stay as lone pair. Next, ammonia. Nitrogen has 5 electrons. Out of 5, 3 are used, so 2 will stay as lone pair out here. Your alcohols. Okay, so these are species. So there are other examples as well. There are other examples as well. So these are species which contains a lone pair of electron. Hence, they are known as a nucleophile. Nucleophile means nucleus loving. Nucleus has a positive charge. So negatively charged species will love the nucleus. So it's known as a nucleophile. Philic means loving, right? And all the species which contains a negative charge. For example, chloride, it behaves as a nucleophile. Say bromide, say iodide, say hydroxide, say cyanide. Okay, so all these species can behave as a nucleophile. Okay, now again I'll just repeat it once more. Nucleophile means a species which either contains a lone pair of electron or a negative charge. Right? Oh, see, these are the species which contains a lone pair of electron. They behave as nucleophile, whereas this species contains a negative charge. They can behave as a nucleophile. Okay. And nucleophiles, what do they do? The nucleophiles, they are denoted by the general formula Nu with a negative charge like this, a nucleophile. So nucleophiles attacks an electron deficient carbon atom. Right? What does a nucleophile do? A nucleophile attacks an electron deficient carbon atom. For example, if we have a carbocation like this, containing electron, which is electron deficient means it has a positive charge, right? So if you have a nucleophile, what will the nucleophile do? The nucleophile is going to attack this carbon atom like this. It's going to attack. So the role of the nucleophile is to attack the electron deficient carbon atom. The role of the nucleophile is to attack the electron deficient carbon atom. Okay, so this is all about a nucleophile. Next, electrophiles. So what are electrophile species or electron deficient species? Electron deficient species or species which contains a positive charge on carbon atom. They are known as a electrophile. For example, electrophile ka, so it's positive, yes, it contains a positive charge. So it behaves as an electrophile. All the carbocation, say methyl carbocation, okay, or say ethyl carbocation, they behave as an electrophile. So this type of species which contains a positive charge, okay, they can behave as a electrophile. So there are two types of species. Say if I have NO2 positive, it behaves as an electrophile like this. So there are two types of reagents. There are two types of species. One is known as a nucleophile. Nucleophile means species containing a lone pair or a negative charge. Examples are this. So now this will come almost in every chapter, electrophile and nucleophile. Electrophiles are electron deficient species. That means which contains a positive charge either on carbon atom or other atoms like this, which contains a positive charge. On carbon atom which contains a positive charge. Okay. So is it understood what are electrophiles, what are nucleophiles? So these are all new terms to you all. Okay, so we are all using your new terms, nomenclature, new nomenclature. So you should remember all of these. Okay, you should be remembering all of this. ये सब याद करना पड़ेगा तुम लोग को. Okay. So after having discussed all these, so the last topic of this particular chapter, okay, the last topic of this particular chapter is here types of organic reactions. types of your organic reactions, or classification of organic reactions. Classification or classifications of organic reactions. Okay. So number one is here. Substitution reaction. So as the name suggests, hey, what do you mean by a substitution reaction? What do you mean by a substitution reaction? So obviously, as is evident from the name, these are reactions where an atom or a group of atoms is replaced by other atoms. Right? Okay, substitution means replace. So substitution reactions are those where an atom or a group of atoms are replaced by, okay, other atoms or groups. Okay, so I'm not going to write down the definition, it's too easy. So what a substitution reaction is? These are the reactions in which an atom or a group of atoms is replaced by another, right? For example, if I have say, I'm just giving you an example. Okay, so AB. So if B is replaced by say X, so what is happening? In place of B, we have X. That means B is getting substituted by X. Minus B means B is going out, plus X means X is coming in its place. So there is a substitution reaction. Now, depending upon the nature of this group X, so substitution reactions again can be broadly classified into two categories. So number one is here nucleophilic substitution reactions. Nucleophilic substitution reactions, and obviously the other one is here electrophilic substitution reactions. So obviously, what is a nucleophilic substitution reaction? Okay, so nucleophilic substitution reactions are those where an atom is replaced by a nucleophile. So whereas electrophilic substitution reactions are those where an atom is replaced by an electrophile. Simple. Now let me give you some examples. Okay, suppose I have methyl bromide. You just have to identify, you don't have to remember these reactions. Now, okay. So I'm treating this with aqueous KOH. Aqueous means in water, KOH. What will happen? CH3OH plus KBr. Now tell me, what kind of reaction is this? Just have a close look and tell me what is getting substituted by what. Chalo, batao. Have a look at this reaction. And tell me which atom is substituted by which atom or group.
The bromine is substituted by OH.
Very good. Bromine is substituted by OH. Now in potassium hydroxide, which is the positive and which is the negative part? It's potassium hydroxide is an ionic compound. So which is the positive part out here?
Potassium.
Very good. Which is the negative part?
OH.
Hydroxide. So here bromine is getting substituted by hydroxide ion. Now, hydroxide means a negatively charged species. So since bromine is substituted by OH negative means nucleophile. Right? Since bromine is substituted by OH negative ion, this comes under the category of nucleophilic substitution reactions. Right? Got it? This comes under the category of nucleophilic substitution reaction. So you have to identify. तुम लोगों को identify करना. You don't need to remember the reaction. So this comes under which category? It's a substitution. Yes, bromine substitute or I would say. What kind of substitution? Nucleophilic. Why? Because bromine is getting substituted by the nucleophilic part OH negative. Similarly, say suppose I have ethyl bromide again. Now if I treat this with KCN, potassium cyanide, so I'll be getting CS3, CH2, Cn. So again, यहाँ पर bromine is getting substituted by Cn negative. Right? Cn is a negative part. Again, is an example of a nucleophilic substitution reaction. Again, it's an example of a nucleophilic substitution reaction. Got it? Is it okay? Now, electrophilic substitution reactions. Okay, so electrophilic substitution reactions, say when benzene reacts with a NO2 positive, right? And what is NO2 positive? It's a species containing a positive charge, so it is an electrophile. It's an electrophile. Right? Now, what do we get? We get nitrobenzene like this. Now, what is getting substituted by what? Who can tell me? What is this? This benzene, what is the formula of benzene? C6H6. We have 6 hydrogen out here. So one of the hydrogen is getting substituted by NO2. So we have hydrogens out here, right? Don't get confused, right? We have 6 hydrogen out here. Although it's not shown, we know there are 6 hydrogen. So in this reaction, one of the hydrogen is getting substituted by NO2 or NO2 positive. Since it is getting substituted by an electrophile, this comes under the category of electrophilic substitution reactions. Okay, this comes under the category of electrophilic substitution reactions. Is it okay? So substitution reactions very easy. When one atom is replaced by another atom or group of atoms. Okay, depending upon the nature, okay, of the species which is substituting, it may be classified as nucleophilic and electrophilic substitution reactions. Okay. So this is all about a substitution reaction. So please remember these reactions. Okay. So number 1 would be a substitution reactions. Okay. So number 2, yeah, addition reactions. Addition reactions. Okay. So listen very carefully. Okay. Addition means something is added. Right? Okay. Something is getting added. Now suppose we have a saturated hydrocarbon such as methane. What is the valency of carbon? 1, 2, 3, 4. Fine. So is it possible to add one more hydrogen out here? Is it possible to add one more hydrogen? Yes or no? Can carbon exhibit pentavalency?
No,
No,
sir.
not possible. Not possible. So we cannot add anything if the carbon atom is saturated like this, right? Okay, so remember, first fact is that addition reaction occurs or takes place in unsaturated. Okay, it occurs or takes place in unsaturated compounds. So addition reaction, okay, addition reaction occurs or takes place only in unsaturated compound. What do you mean by unsaturated compound? Yes, saturated means compounds containing only single bond, whereas unsaturated means compounds containing double or triple bonding. Okay, double or so addition reaction always takes place in unsaturated compound, and not here saturated compounds. Please remember. Now, say for example, suppose we have ethene. We have ethene. So yes, can addition reaction occur out here? Can addition reaction take place? Yes, addition reaction can take place because it's a unsaturated component. Now suppose I am adding hydrogen. Say in presence of nickel, nickel ka kaam kya? It acts as a catalyst. Right? So we are adding hydrogen. So what happens during addition reaction? So during addition reaction, one of the pi bond gets removed. एक pi bond remove होगा, right? This pi bond gets removed, and in place of it, there are two hydrogens. So one hydrogen will be added out here, the other hydrogen will be added out here. Right? So addition takes place only in case of your unsaturated compounds, not saturated. Right? Okay. So during addition reaction, there is a pi bond is removed and two sigma bonds are formed. Right? एक pi bond remove हो रहा है देखो, but in place of it, two new sigma bonds are formed. So let me give you one more example. Say I have CH3, say CH double bond CH2. So you'll be doing these reactions in this particular chapter only. Now what is being added? Bromine. Two bromine atoms are there. So addition takes place only across the double bond or the triple bond. है. So what will happen? यहाँ पर addition नहीं होगा क्योंकि ये saturated bond है. Single bond में कभी addition नहीं होगा. So we have CH3. So we have CH. One bromine will be added out here. Double bond will get reduced to single bond. Another bromine will be added out. Okay. So these are examples of addition reactions. Or say we have a OH negative. Say we have CH3, COCH3. I'm just giving you one example. Okay. Now, or CH3, this I'm giving you this. Now, remember, this oxygen is negatively charged because it's electronegative. The carbon is positively charged. So there is a nucleophile. So nucleophile will attack the positively charged carbon as said before. What is the role of the nucleophile? The role of the nucleophile is to attack the electron deficient or positively charged carbon atom. Okay, so in doing so, these pi electrons will come out like this. So we have CH3, we have C, we have O negative. Why negative? Because two electrons are moving towards this oxygen. We have H, and what is added out here? OH. So since a nucleophile is being added, this reaction comes under a nucleophilic addition reactions. यहाँ पर nucleophile add हो रहा है, addition हो रहा है across the double bond, not across the single bond, across the double bond. Since a nucleophile is added across a double bond, it comes under nucleophilic addition. Okay, so if an electrophile is added, it comes under electrophilic addition reactions. Okay, so this is the second category of reactions here, addition reactions. Okay, fine. Okay, so I'll just finish up with this. Okay, so one small, it will take just 2-3 minutes. So the third category of reaction, so we have substitution, we have learnt about here addition reactions. Okay, so addition में क्या होगा? Addition कहाँ पर होगा? So this is a fact, very important concept. Addition takes place only in case of here unsaturated compounds. मतलब compounds containing single bond. Okay. So the third category of reaction will be a elimination reaction. The third category of reaction will be a elimination reaction. Elimination means something is getting eliminated. Something is eliminated, right? Now, you just have to identify, I'm telling you, suppose we have this. This, everything will be given. You don't need to memorize the reactions, eh? So we have CH3, CH2Br. When this is treated with a reagent, alcoholic QH, not aqueous, alcoholic QH, there will be an elimination of HBr. HBr eliminate hoga. So one H is eliminated from here, so we have 2. One Br is eliminated from here, so we have 2 HU. Now what is the valency of carbon atom? 1, 2, 3. So in order to maintain the tetravalency, a pi bond is formed. What is eliminated plus what is eliminated? HBr. So just by looking at the reaction, you can see यहाँ पर HBr था, यहाँ पर नहीं है. So HBr eliminated हुआ है. So it's an elimination reaction. You just have to identify. And during elimination reaction, 2 sigma bonds are broken. Yeah? 2 sigma bond break हो रहा है and a new pi bond is formed. A new pi bond is formed. Right? So from a molecule, if something is getting lost, जैसे यहाँ पर reactant and product compare करो, reactant में एक H और Br था, product में एक H और Br नहीं है, मतलब HBr तुम्हारा react, मतलब it's getting eliminated from this compound, it's getting removed. Okay, some part of the molecule is getting removed, then this comes under a elimination reactions. Okay, now for example, if I again say CH3CH2H ethyl alcohol. Okay, so you don't need to remember again, I'm telling you. So if you treat this with conc H2SO4, say 473 Kelvin. Okay, now you just tell me which molecule is getting eliminated. क्या eliminate हो रहा है यहाँ से? जैसे यहाँ पर HBr eliminate हो रहा है, यहाँ से क्या eliminate हो रहा है? Tell me, what is getting eliminated? It's an elimination reaction because if I compare the reactant and product, one H and OH is missing.
H2O.
Yes, H and OH means what is getting eliminated? H2O. Very good, excellent. So H2O is getting removed, elimination reaction, and during elimination reaction, always remember a new pi bond is formed. During elimination reaction, a new pi bond is formed, always. Okay, so I think so this class was very important. Okay, so again, go through